Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Stitcher, Spotify, and more, because I'm here to splatter as much hope and happiness on you first thing in the morning here on this 8 a.m. hour every weekday morning. Thank you for all of those who continue to support me and tune in. I just found out that not only am I on the number one talk news station in the IE, and I am the number one talk show at the 8 a.m. hour. So thank you so much for all of you who continue to help make that possible, including my listeners, especially my listeners. That's you, as well as all the guys at the station. Fred Lundgren, the station owner, his son Mike Lundgren in the background, and my automator, Rick in the morning, who has a great show in the morning as well, and my station manager, Mark Westwood. So thank you to all of you for continuing to support me. And it is October the 7th. So let's see what's special about today. It is National Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day. So if you've been looking for an excuse to have a chocolate covered pretzel, I don't think I've ever had one, actually. Chocolate and pretzels, I'm not a big mix salty and sweet, like the salty caramel chocolate that everybody goes crazy over. I kind of like to separate my sweet from my salty, but because it is chocolate covered pretzel day, maybe I'll have one of those today. It's also National Frappe Day, so there's an excuse to have a frappe, and National LED Light Day. I have no idea what to tell you to do with that. But the final one that I really do know what I want you to do with is National Inner Beauty Day. So those of you who know that I'm a corporate psychologist by education. My PhD is in organizational psychology, which just means I get to go and work with companies on things like power, politics, miscommunication, and conflict, where human dynamics intersect with organizations and why people do weird things at work. You may have heard that show on Fox. I did a little clip on that, and I still have people say, I heard you in my bedroom Saturday morning when they replay that. But anyways, that's an aside. So I want to talk about inner beauty, because not just because my book, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are, that thank goodness made 8 bestseller lists, including number 1 on Amazon, number 4 on Denver Post, and is my Asian Oprah giveaway today. You get an audiobook, and you get an audiobook, and you get an audiobook. I forgot to give something away yesterday, but the first 8 people to go to drmarissa.life and put down inner beauty is the code word for today, get a copy of that book, because the book is based on happiness through inside out job. So we've heard that expression before. Happiness is an inside out job. Love is an inside out job. I can't love you until I can love myself. And I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of truth to all of those statements, that inner beauty, inner love, inner appreciation, inner soothing is the most important thing if you want to be happy. There's an African-American saying that I use a lot when I'm on stage speaking, and it goes like this: when there is no enemy within, Nothing or no one can hurt you on the outside or from without. So when there is no enemy within, then no one and nothing can hurt you on the outside. And that's why I talk about perfectionism so much, is because perfectionism is a dis-ease that keeps you from loving yourself, because you're never enough. Things are never enough. People are never enough, because you're looking for love in all the wrong places. You're looking for love, approval in perfection, and no one is perfect. And trust me, when people used to tell me you're not perfect, I used to have an internal reaction and say, well, you may not be perfect, but I'm here to tell you that I'm going to keep trying to be perfect, because I want to be perfect. There's always something to strive for. You can always do better. You can always make yourself better than you are, which is true. And yes, we absolutely want to try to do better. I'm not saying that isn't a worthwhile goal. You don't want to walk around being the worst that you can be. Of course not. You want to be the best that you can be. But if your goal is to be perfect, you're never going to get there. We all are going to mess up, because we are human, and humankind is 88% fabulous and 12% messed up. Including me, including you, including the world. And yet we keep trying to be the perfect mom, the perfect friend, the perfect employee, the perfect boss, the perfect writer, the perfect consultant, the perfect speaker, the perfect. And if you're on that track, if you're on that treadmill of perfectionism, you will fall flat on your face, I promise, and you will not have a happy life. So, since today, October the 7th, is National Inner Beauty Day, I want you today to practice inner beauty. You can pay attention to yourself and what you look in the mirror on the outside, but I want you to ask yourself, am I as kind as I can be? Am I as caring as I can be? Am I as loving as I can be? I'm not talking about 100% of the time. I am talking about 88% of the time. And most of us will say yes. And I want you to give yourself credit for having inner beauty, especially if you're a woman. Women, I don't know why, seem to pick up a harsher, more critical genetic predisposition than men do. We think we're fatter. We think that we're uglier. We think we're not as nice. We think we're not as smart as we actually are. Not all women, but many women. On the other hand, most men, not all men, but most men think they are better looking, not as fat, and more buff, and have more hair than they actually do. And I say this not to male bash. I say this because there's a lot to learn from that. If we can focus and credit ourselves with our inner beauty and our outer beauty, then we will be happier. I promise. So that is today's answer for everyday's question, how can I feel better now? And marrying that with today, October 7th, the National Inner Beauty Day. Because you are more beautiful than you think you are. You are. I promise. I actually started writing a song to that effect. Maybe I'll read you some of the lyrics now. It's my show. I can do anything I want. Just kidding. Not kidding. All right. So here are the lyrics. I'm putting music to it right now, so you're hearing it for the first time here. It's called, How Did I Know That Life Was Good? How did I know that life was good? How did I know that I was different? How did I know that what showed on the outside didn't hide the pain inside? How did I know that I was broken? How did I know that I could heal? How did I know that words unspoken, that I wasn't the only one not being real? But now I know, now I feel, now I see, it's for real. I'm not broken, I'm not useless. I'm not that voice inside. And here's the chorus. I am beautiful. I am love. I am peace and joy and wonderful. And I know that life is good for me and for you. And then I'm still writing. But there's a first peek at I haven't written a song in about 10 years, but I wanted to share that with you because that is my message. I am beautiful, and so are you, inside and out. All right. So that's it for today's What's Up Doc section for October the 7th. And when we come back, for the rest of the show, I'm going to play you an interview that I had with someone who really does know the importance of being beautiful and acknowledging it on the inside and out. She's a motivational speaker. You've heard of her. I just found out she got engaged, and I'm happy for her for the first time at age 54. So she's practicing her inside out love, and her name is Lisa Nichols. So when we come back, and for the remainder of the show, an interview with the motivator of the masses. Hope you enjoy. When we come back on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel, which I would love for you to free subscribe so that you'll get an alert every weekday morning at 8 a.m. so you can start your day with more hope and happiness. And at the same time, you can enjoy my red carpet playlist with interviews from Lieutenant Uhura to Corey Feldman, who was actually on my show. You can get that show as well as Halle Berry, John Travolta. Gosh, I've had so many wonderful moments on the red carpet with a lot of really cool people. So enjoy that on my free subscribe YouTube channel. We're almost at 250,000 views. So happy about that too, and grateful that I continue to be on my Happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. Yes. And why 88? Those of you may be wondering, why do I do so many eights? Well, if you're tuning in for the first time and you're actually watching, you'll see that I'm not Swedish. I'm actually Chinese, and 8 is a lucky number in Chinese, in Mandarin. It's a homonym for good fortune, ba, fa. And so that's why I use a lot of 8s. And 88% happy is your birthright. So double good fortune. It is your double good fortune and birthright to be happy. And I have a show sponsor today who is near and dear to my heart. I get to be one of the sponsors of the Chinese Spotlight film at the Newport Beach Film Festival. So take a listen and meet me at the Pacific Showcase this year. Do you like films? The 22nd annual Newport Beach Film Festival is back to in-person screenings. Orange County's largest entertainment event will run from October 21st to October 28th. This prestigious multicultural event attracts over 58,000 attendees and screens over 350 films in 7 days. Join me, Dr. Marissa, on October 27th as the Asian Oprah will be on the red carpet to introduce the highly anticipated 3-time Academy Award nominated Chinese Spotlight film, 1 Second.
Celebrate diversity and art in cinema by being part of the Newport Beach Film Festival and get your tickets at www.newportbeachfilmfest.com. That's www.newportbeachfilmfest.com.
And because today is National Inner Beauty Today, I wanted to bring you my spotlight interview with Lisa Nichols, who I got to meet through my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith. I've gotten to interview her on the red carpet, and I'm going to show you a little clip on that and then go straight into my interview with her. So enjoy.
Live from the red carpet at Agape's Revelation 2018, and so happy to have you here. And you're not going to believe well, you're going to believe it because you see her right here. It's one of my past guests, one of my fabulous role models who is doing amazing things on the planet. Lisa Nichols, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And you just came off of a huge tour.
52 days, 3 countries, and about 11 cities and states.
That's amazing. And you look amazing.
Why, thank you. Thank you. It's simply a byproduct of waking up each day committed to do the things you love doing, and doing the things you love doing for other people so that it's not just about you.
Yeah.
So I believe that my inside and my outside reflects my intention these days and my alignment. And I wasn't always in alignment. You know? So I'm just grateful for the alignment.
Yeah, beautiful. It's a long way. I remember you talking about the whole being from welfare to a lot of fare.
Yeah.
Which is,
a lot of abundance. And I'm grateful. But even inside the journey, people talk about me going from welfare to Wall Street and to building a multi-million-dollar business, but they're all kind of breakthroughs right in the middle. They're all kind of breakthroughs after I'd already made a few million. They were all kind of breakthroughs after I realized, hold on, I can't serve everyone else to the detriment of myself.
Right.
So that wasn't back in the welfare days. That was in the abundance days.
Right.
So so the breakthroughs keep coming, keep flowing. Keep serving themselves up to me. I always say I stay parked between fluid and flexible. Just kind of ready for what's next. And being open and not waiting for fear to leave me before I leap. Someone said, how do you not be afraid? I said, you're assuming I'm not afraid.
Yes.
It's really not about, and I'm clear that it's not about overcoming fear. We're like, how do you overcome fear? No, what the question you want to know is how do you leap with fear?
Right. For me, fear stands for future events already ruined.
Yes.
So we don't want to go there. We want to stay.
Jump. Trust yourself. I always say, I'm a good bet. I'm a good bet. I don't measure everything else out there. I'm measuring me. Beautiful. So if I fall, I'll get up. I always have. So I'm excited
yes,
to
you
be with
do.
You.
So why Revelation? Why are you here with us?
Oh my God, why not?
Why not?
Right. You know I'm gonna say this is home for me.
Setting you up.
Yeah, this is home for me. This is everything, all things agape. Everything, all things possibility. Everything, all things download. Everything, all things giving yourself permission to soar. Making sure you understand that your past has never and will ever equal your future. That your future is waiting to be designed, and that's what Agape stands for. That's what Revelation stands for. I did a Revelations conference in 2005. That was my first one.
You use oil of Olay.
Yes. 2005 when my son was a small child. Now he's 6'2" and on his own. And so this has been a part of my fabric. It's where unicorns come.
That's
to dream
right.
together. It's
That's
where
right.
where we come to give ourselves permission to be outrageous, be outlandish, be bodacious, have the audacity to believe and dream in this climate. And you want to surround yourself with people who are thinking like you, because this kind of thinking is not crazy.
Right.
It's not crazy. You just need a few people around you to remind you that you're all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I come to Revelation for 2 reasons. 1, to pour into people, and 2, to get poured into and to have the energy. I always say, Agape is my home space. It's my spiritual
high
center.
Today, so you're going to get fed
I'm
today.
excited.
I'm naturally high today.
Yes.
What's your life motto?
There's a couple of things. Number
I know
one,
there's 10 of them.
Yeah. It's that I am the author of my autobiography.
Beautiful.
And I am the designer of my destiny. And if I don't like the way my story is being read, then write a different story.
Beautiful. There was the nugget.
Yeah. Write a different story, that the pen is always in my hand. The pen is in my hand when it's going great, and the pen is in my hand when it sucks.
Yeah.
Just write a new story.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, man's rejection is God's protection. That
literally
everything
if
isn't
a
for me.
man's rejection,
or
a woman's,
or a project. Anything that I think, because I'm gonna play big.
Right.
So the bigger you play, the more yeses you hear and the more no's you hear. The bigger you play, the more you soar and the more you fall. The bigger you play. So getting used to intimately connected with both of them. And so the way that I breathe in that, I go, look, man's rejection is God's protection. Everything isn't for me. I'm gonna go after everything. I'm gonna go after everything. Hey, brother! I'm gonna come over here and hug me. You can't come this close and I'm not hug you.
Come on.
I love you. This is why I'm here.
Yeah, there's
this
the
right
real
here
me.
is why I'm
There's
here.
my feet.
This is the master motivator,
Now listen,
Lisa Nichols in the house.
And if your shoulders are tired and your knees ache, because I'm standing on them. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm standing on them all day long.
This is Lisa.
I'm his little sister.
Come on.
Yes.
I got two little sisters here.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's not too late. It's not too late to get down here.
Come on.
That's right.
We're going to have some chanting and some things, and you can get down here and be with Lisa Nichols.
Yes.
You can live stream it. You can do it right now.
Yeah.
This is the first time we have been in this place at the same time.
That's right, because you always take over for me.
I do. I'm a stand-in. I'm a good stand-in.
That's right. She's a great stand-in.
Listen, I'll be the, what do you call the teacher when the main teacher's gone? The substitute teacher.
Substitute.
I'll be the substitute teacher.
Listen, she's going
Right.
to tell you to be great.
Right. Y'all better be great while he gone. Right. I love it.
All right,
Thank
let me
you.
step out.
No,
Continue.
thank you.
I'll see you
almost
downstairs.
Well, this is going to be what the last question always on my show is: who and what are you grateful most for? You answered that when you were on the show, but I will see if it's the same one as you said before.
I actually have many things that I'm grateful for. When you say most, it actually throws me into I gotta choose one.
Okay.
You know, so I have to say in this season, you know, so I don't have a shtick.
No.
I don't have a performance, so I'm an organic piece of work.
Yeah.
I move, I ebb, I flow, and I expand and I contract. So in this season, I'm most grateful for. I'm grateful for my grandmother, and I'm grateful for the seniors. I have a spiritual mentor, and they've given me wisdom that I wouldn't be able to have at this age. They gave me their wisdom. They've lent me their stories, their pains, their sorrows. They've lent me their reasons for, as they pick cotton. I never have picked cotton. I won't ever have to pick cotton. But when they tell me what they were thinking of at age 10 while they were picking cotton, I get to borrow that faith. I get to borrow that determination. I get to borrow that commitment. It makes me want to run harder and faster because I can visualize my grandmother picking the cotton and how she never knew that she can make more than $5 a week. So I love the abundance that I create. I love the financial abundance that I get to create because now I get to show her. I remember traveling with my grandmother. I was renovating her home, and I couldn't get her to leave the construction guys alone. So I took her out of the country.
That's a good way to do it.
Right, and when she stepped into the presidential suite in Montego Bay, the way her swag changed as she walked in the room. I just remembered that was the same woman that picked cotton at 10. And so I'm most grateful for the opportunity to learn from her journey and to make this season so beautiful.
That's beautifully said. You're such a beautiful inside and out. I'm so glad I get to see you again, sister.
And we'll be back with more of my Spotlight interview with mass motivator Lisa Nichols when we come back on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Impact Your Life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes. I almost got it through that time, and more. And of course, you can hit the listen now button at www.kcaaradio.com. And today's show is sponsored by the Newport Beach Film Festival, Chinese Spotlight Films. Take a listen. Do you like films? The 22nd annual Newport Beach Film Festival is back to in-person screenings. Orange County's largest entertainment event will run from October 21st to October 28th. This prestigious multicultural event attracts over 58,000 attendees and screens over 350 films in 7 days. Join me, Dr. Marissa, on October 27th as the Asian Oprah will be on the red carpet to introduce the highly anticipated 3-time Academy Award nominated Chinese Spotlight film, 1 Second. Celebrate diversity and art in cinema by being part of the Newport Beach Film Festival and get your tickets at www.newportbeachfilmfest.com. That's www.newportbeachfilmfest.com. And I promise it's a great event. Make sure you get your tickets. I will see you on the red carpet there. And stay tuned because later this week, I'm going to be giving away a pair of tickets to the Spotlight film. But just in case, get your tickets first and you can always give away if you win. All right. And now we are back to our Spotlight interview for today with Lisa Nichols, mass motivator, since today is about inner beauty, inner love. She knows how to talk about it. Look where she came from and look where she is now. So enjoy.
Lisa Nichols is one of the world's most requested motivational speakers, as well as media personality and corporate CEO, whose global platform has reached and served nearly 30 million people. She's a life coach for the Today Show and the Steve Harvey Show. Please welcome to my studio, Lisa Nichols. All right. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, I'm so excited to be with you.
I'm so excited to have you here. And as I was saying, when I just met her, really, I met you once before, very briefly, when you came to Agape, I think a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And then you were just at Agape, and I missed you because I was on my travels to Toronto and New York. But I did live stream you there, and I just told her that she didn't know it, but we're actually sisters because Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith calls both of us sisters. So you didn't know you had an Asian sister, but you do now. So
I'm happy for the family to expand.
There you
excited.
go. There you go. And I have a friend who doesn't have an answering machine. She has a questioning machine. Mm-hmm. And when you call her, she says, "Who are you and what do you want?" So, Lisa Nichols, who are you and what do you want?
I think I would call myself a rebel rouser. I like to consider myself someone who challenges the status quo. I challenge everything ordinary, everything normal, everything settled. So I'm a challenger. Okay. I'm a disruptor of the norm. And what I want is I want to be a vehicle that allows people to break out of stereotypical expectations. And I want to be a catalyst for a new level of defining oneself by one's own terms. So I would say I'm a catalyst, and what I want is to disrupt enough to create enough. I was at a family event recently, And I said, I'm a butterfly and I love to fly all over the world globally and sprinkle possibility pollen on people.
Oh, I love it.
And yeah, I'm a butterfly. I like to fly all over the globe and sprinkle possibility pollen on people.
I love it.
And to disrupt their norms, to create their possibility. So that's who I am.
Beautiful. Yes, our brother will say, I'm here to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable.
Right. That's why he's our brother.
Exactly. Right. And I do that. I try to do that too. Great. And so you didn't start, though. I don't know, maybe you did have that spirit, but you certainly weren't in the situation you are now, which is you are on top of the top. You are recognized. You're asked for, sought after to speak and motivate. But I don't know how many years ago you start your talks usually with that you were on public assistance. You had a son who you didn't have money for diapers. This is a big gap between there and here. So for those who haven't heard your story, it is very inspiring. And I know that there are listeners out there who either have family members or friends or even themselves who are sitting there with no money, on public assistance or not on public assistance, and feeling completely futile, hopeless, helpless. So bring us back to that.
Yes, and I'd love to expand that to there's someone between there and where I am now. That's where the majority of people live. They may not be at that bottom. That was called my rock bottom. Mm-hmm. And you may not be at the rock bottom, but you're somewhere 40% in, and you're kind of wondering, is it ever going to get better? Mm-hmm. And so I believe that's where I really seek to inspire people to go. If you're anywhere between rock bottom, having $11.42 in the bank, and where I stand today, or beyond me, but where I stand today, then this message is appropriate for you. My life is barely recognizable at this point. There was a point where I was broke and broken. And I often say being broke was easier than being broken. Broke is just a matter of money. It's a financial thing. It's just finding the resources to eliminate your financial status of being broke. Being broken requires you to muster up the strength, the possibility, the belief that you can actually do it. And enough to get up and get off your couch and to trust yourself again, to give yourself permission to take another risk, to give yourself permission to be the brilliant being that you know yourself to be. And so in 1994, actually early 1995, my son was 8 months old, and it was my rock bottom. And I don't think anyone needs to hit your rock bottom to get to rocket boost you either. So let me be very clear. You don't have to feel rock bottom to accelerate. You just need to be inspired enough to want to get up and do the things, say the things you have always been afraid to say, and do the things you've always been afraid to do, so you can be the man, the woman you've always known yourself to be. When I didn't have money to buy my son Pampers and I had to wrap him in a towel for 2 days, I was done. When I looked up and I had to get in the line each holiday to get free turkey and free canned good foods, and when I had to get in line to get WIC, women, infant, and children, free cheese, free pasta, free butter, free milk, I was at a point where I said, enough is enough. So whatever your enough is, whatever that looks like for you, that was my enough. It was enough to go, I don't want to sentence myself to another 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years in this reality, and to recognize that I was my own rescue. There was no prince that was going to ride up on a white horse or even drive a white Hyundai. I mean, there was no prince on a white skateboard, on a white bike, that I had to be my own rescue. And it didn't happen overnight. I'm not going to say I got an aha that dismal day in 1995 and everything changed. No, I got an awakening. I got a call that said, you deserve better than this. Your life, you're more brilliant than this. Your life does not demonstrate the child of God that you are. And then it was a slow road because I had to convince myself that I was worthy of something better. So it wasn't overnight. There were no ceiling opened up and the white lights came down and there were chorus singing, oh, and then I got it.
Right.
Not the case.
Right. Did someone come and say these things to you, or you literally felt them?
I felt them.
You
no
felt
no
them.
one said. I felt them and I witnessed them. I watched people that I didn't know seem to have and harness and own a level of joy that I wanted to have. And they had I would go to places like Agape and I'd see this peace and this joyfulness. And I go, well, what is that? That looks foreign. What is, and I wasn't a sad person. Mind you, I was captain of the cheerleading squad, editor of yearbook. I was captain of the track team. And my mom and my dad are amazing people. I have a very tight-knit family. So I had a very strong foundation.
Right.
Just the belief in Lisa, in this mocha skin, full lips, round hips, kinky hair, all my reality of who I am in the world was all being questioned by me. And so I would watch people and I'd go, I want that peace of mind. And I never really said I want those possessions. I'm not a big, I want that car, I want that house. I wasn't like that. I wanted the joy. I wanted what felt like, whether they were faking it or not, I don't even know. But when I saw them, they looked awful peaceful and awful happy. And they looked empowered and they looked like they had settled in their own skin. And particularly when I would see women of color and I would see a woman of color, but she owned every essence of her. There was no tiptoeing in a room. Like she walked in the room and she didn't need to dominate the room. She just was present in the room. And I would always say this, wow, I love the fact that her essence screams so loudly that she never has to open her mouth. You know that.
Yes.
And I began to emulate people who I saw that in. And I began to follow people who had that. I began to raise my hand and say, can you teach me what you know? And something was wildly consistent with all these people. They all had something to say. And they all had done some kind of work. And they all had to go somewhere to get it. And they had to read something. They had to study something. And they had to do something. And the majority of them were very generous to tell me what they studied, what they read, and what they did. And then I became a master student.
Right. So, but I guess the people who are listening and are still saying, yeah, but that's you and you're strong and, you've always had that strength in you. But, I grew up in I wasn't the cheerleader. I was always the odd man out or odd woman out. I always was the one left behind. And I just cannot see, every time I have a relationship, I get abandoned or taken or kicked or stolen from. And I just give up. What do you say to someone who comes like that?
Well, now you know me, Doc. You watch what
you're going to say. Yes.
Right. You know me. So, I'm going to say, first of all, I was a cheerleader and captain of the track team because I was trying to prove to people that I was good enough. So I'm not so caught up in what you do or what you don't do. I'm more caught up on why you do what you do.
Okay.
So I'm very clear. And at my 25-year reunion, I was a keynote speaker and I exposed myself that I was all those things in school because I just wanted to be liked because I didn't like Lisa. And so I didn't do those things out of my strength. I did those things out of my neediness.
Okay.
Out of my neediness to be approved and to be validated by others. So when whatever you think you are, you're right. Right. And what I would say to you is who you've thought yourself to be up until this very moment right here, really, let's say that doesn't amount to anything because it's already done. I'm going to ask you, who are you willing to begin to believe yourself to be now? Because we have a tendency to forget that we have the ability to press reset.
Yes.
That we get 1,000 second chances, 1,000 second chances. And every time we get to 999, we get to press reset. We get 1,000 second chances.
Yeah.
And then to recognize, I just got to say this, that when you're attracting hurtful relationships, when you're attracting people who use you and abuse you, when you're attracting people who are dominating and controlling, when you attract situations when you attract that, it's not that you're the victim of life happening to you, because in every relay, there's a relay. So as much as I can give you the list of people I felt betrayed me and didn't treat me right, I can also give you a list of moments when I felt like something wasn't going right and I didn't give myself permission to deserve something. Is it scary? Yes. But when you draw a line in the sand and you say, hold on, this is my worth.
Yeah.
Now that requires you to do two things. One, to know your worth. And if you don't know your worth, and there was a time I gotten into an abusive relationship. I signed up for it. I didn't know it was going to be abusive. I also stayed because I wasn't loving Lisa enough. And I was in a emotionally relationship, that emotionally abusive relationship that became physically abusive. And then I got myself out of it. I realized in that moment when I got out that I had forgotten who Lisa was. I was diagnosed as clinically depressed. And I heard the word clinically depressed and Lisa Nichols in the same sentence. And I was like, oh, wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense. That's not who I am. And yet it was who I had become out of circumstances. So I knew that if I shifted the circumstances, I can shift my reality. So to you, if you want to shift your circumstances, and when you shift your circumstance, you can shift your reality. So what I did was, and I'm going to give you very practical steps, doctor.
Good.
What I did was, I realized I had forgotten who Lisa was. So then I went, what's a reminder for me? So I need visual reminders. So number one, I got into words and affirmations that I could read about myself. Then I did number two. I actually wrote affirmations personalized for me, where I modified the affirmation that I was reading into one that was far more customized for me. I put them on the yellow Post-it notes, the yellow Post-it notes. I posted them all around my house, my bathroom mirror, my refrigerator, everywhere that I frequented, on the back of my bedroom door, on my headboard of my bed, on the back of my front door, to remind me who I was.
And so give me three of those. Give me three Post-its.
Absolutely. You have to remember, I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's all right. Go ahead.
You have to remember, I did these Post-it notes when my son was 3 years old. My son turns 22. So I love the fact that you want me to give you some, because I remember those.
Good.
I remember them from when my son was 3 years old, because they were my oxygen.
Right.
So one Post-it note in the bathroom, and oh, by the way, I themed my Post-it notes. I themed the Post-it notes in the area that I put it in my house. So all the bathroom Post-it notes was about me validating who I am as a person and my beauty. On the back of my bedroom door and on my headboard was the healthy love I deserve.
So I deserve healthy love.
So I said, I deserve long-term healthy love.
Okay.
And then on the back, on the window, one of the mirrors in my bathroom, I said, God created my beauty to be unique to me only.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And on the refrigerator, one of the things I put on is, my body is my temple and I choose to honor it on all levels. And on the back of the front door,
you do
and
remember this.
And I'm pointing to my front door because I'm at my house. On the back of my front door, I put, I'm ready to serve the world, and the world's ready to be served by me.
Beautiful. Very powerful. Very powerful. And were there any times when you looked at that and went, who am I trying to fool here? Like, really, come on.
Absolutely, girl.
Okay.
Absolutely. Heck yeah.
I asked that same question to Marianne Williamson. I asked her, do you ever have that voice in your head that says, who do you think you are? And what do you, and and there was this long pause, and she goes, no. And I went, okay, I want to get to that point, because I still have that voice in my head, and I still, I want to believe it. And 88% of the time I do believe it,
No,
so
not my experience. Listen, I'm going to tell you on a real day what I do. And I'm not a superhero, and I don't want to have anyone believe I'm a superhero, because then it lets you off the hook. I'm an ordinary woman who chooses every day to make a number of extraordinary decisions.
I got to write that down and put it on my mirror.
Exactly, because then it allows me to live in my duality and to be okay. I love Marion, and that's her experience.
Yeah.
But I would be lying to you if I told you I didn't have that little doubting diva in my head. The difference between me and most people is that doubting moment doesn't last as long. And I have created tools in my life to minimize the doubt into the nothingness that it always was. That's
Thank
for me.
you.
That's my journey.
That was powerful for me. Woo!
Yes.
That's what I
Yes.
love about choosing my guests.
Yeah,
I do it for me.
Right, exactly, and everyone else gets to witness.
That's right.
Else gets to witness. Right. I tell people I do personal development workshops so that I can attend them all.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, there are times when I look at it and I go, I have this moment of and then I refute that with, no, there's a reason why. That's who I know myself to be. Now, what sometimes I wonder who I am, but replace the wonder with the knowing and you'll always be okay. So in my dark moments, and I say in my dark moments, I don't say when I used to have them, because I still have them. Okay. They're just flashes now. They're not, I don't take out real estate in my dark moments. I don't
Beautiful.
do a lease option buy. I don't do a rent to own. I don't take
You're
out
not
down
squatting there.
Exactly. I'm not a squatter there. I pass through. I do a rolling stop, like a
Drive
California
by.
stop sign. I do a rolling stop.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I remember having one of those dark moments, and I'd been at Agape a couple of years, and I passed my brother in the hallway, and I just blurted out. I said, I'm not feeling good, and I don't know what's wrong, and da 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 da. And I thought he was going to go read page da 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 in spiritual liberation and da da da. And he goes, oh, I had one of those last night, and I'm like, what?
Yes,
That changed. My whole
because it gives you permission to have it.
Yeah.
It gives you permission to be
absolutely.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Brilliant and clueless. To be powerful and have a moment of a fear storm. I always say, listen, I don't wait for my fear to end in order to move because I don't know when it's going to end. I've gotten comfortable moving while I'm afraid.
Wow. Yeah.
Like when you get the beauty of that to go, I feel you. I'm not going to stop because you're here. I'm going to keep going because action dissipates fear. I'm going to get a little intimate with you.
All right.
So my granddaughter, my goddaughter has a daughter. So she's my granddaughter. She's giving me all these little fake tattoos. So she gave me this fake tattoo and it's on my arm and it says action cures fear.
Wow.
And I've been having this little tattoo on all weekend. It's going to come off soon.
Cute.
And I love it because it's the truth. Action cures fear. So I've learned how to not avoid being fearful because it just comes. I've learned how to live, move, and produce in the face of fear until the fear dissipates into the nothingness that it always was.
That's great. So when I am feeling fat and ugly, or when I'm feeling not good enough, I just let it drive by and act in a way that is contrary to that and not sit and marinate in that belief system that is truly BS. Yes?
Yes, absolutely. Energy grows where energy goes.
Yeah.
And so number one, don't give it energy. And people get confused here is they think not thinking about it is giving it energy. So you try to not think about it where you're actually thinking about it, trying to not think about it.
Right.
Because you're focused on not thinking about it. Right. How about you go to the opposite, what you just said, and go, what can I grow and expand? What can I grow and where can I put my attention and my energy that I can grow and expand? Which is why I tell people when you're going through a challenging time, start serving others. Go be a blessing to someone else. If you're going through something challenging, be a blessing to someone else. Go, whether it's just cooking someone. I do what I'm a big server. I love serving. So when I'm going through an emotional challenge or I'm with someone and they're going through an emotional challenge. I go into service. You would be blown away at what I will do at someone's house when they have a loss of a loved one or something. I clean for them. I cook for them. I go grocery shopping for them. I organize their back, little things that will make their life a little more simpler. I also do it when I'm in a challenging time for myself. When I'm going through something, I go, okay, what can I do? I go to my grandmother's house, and I don't go to my grandmother's house and sit on her couch and complain. Right. I go to my grandmother's house and I cook her about 2 really great meals, and I watch her eat them, and I watch her enjoy them. And that, just that moment of service, that moment of gives her a little bit. Gives me something.
Yeah, that's a great practical solution for ruminating.
Yes,
Quit thinking, and I love that saying, willingness without action is a fantasy.
Yes,
so we gotta get into the action. So I have a couple of questions from listeners that they fed me before. So I'm gonna give. This is for Richard from Florida. I'm 19 and terribly unhappy. I feel hopeless most of the time and don't know what to do. I've tried antidepressants and side effects have led me to even more suicidal thoughts. I wasn't physically abused, but my parents are controlling. I'm confused and don't see the point of life.
So tell me his name.
Richard.
Mm-hmm. So, Richard, I have worked with a lot of people who have been suicidal.
And if you would like to hear the rest of that interview with Lisa Nichols, then please do go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, and find it there. And that's it for today's scintillating episode of Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room during the pandemic in my virtual studio, reminding you that it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. And remember, have the best day ever.